The four ladies out on court.
First off, it's Isabel Schneider, 26 years of age, and I'll tell you what, at 5'11", she is something special to watch in the backcourt, a defensive specialist. She lit it up last night, nothing hitting the ground, and more importantly, with that left hand, very deceptive, and had so much success against the Brazilians converting. So she is really an up-and-coming player, a breakthrough tournament. This is her highest finish ever in a major series, and she's looking to do more damage. They would love to get themselves on the podium. Her partner, Victoria Bieneck, 26 years of age as well, 182 centimeters, 6 feet. She is a blocker, and interesting, she doesn't like to drop. She will stay up at the net even if that set is off. She likes to take away the area, funnel it to her partner Schneider, and this team has all sorts of chemistry. Very interesting how they are so solid and really unflappable. On the other side of the net, there is Taiana. Taiana, 6 World Tour victories to her name, 33 years of age. And I'll tell you what, she can play defense like no other. An intense competitor on the tour, very passionate, just like all the Brazilians out here. And she's looking to take Brazil to the top. She is playing with Carolina Horta Maximo, her partner, who is just 25 years of age, up at the net. That's what these Brazilians do. They get a younger partner. Taiana, 33, you get an up-and-comer. So many people in the pipeline. And here's a good look at Carolina Horta Maximo. 25 years of age, out of Fortaleza, 180 centimeters, just 5'11", so she's one of the undersized blockers, but she's got a great vertical leap. She takes away a lot of area, and this is a team put together after Taiana's partner actually was injured in the Netherlands in January. So these two teaming up and really making some noise here on the major series and representing Brazil well.
Well, that could be the advantage for Germany. Now, there's the referee putting the RTBS system to work. This is the real-time body sensor, which gives us, the viewers to this match, some very valuable information. Number of jumps, number of kcals burned. And we can then compare the performances and energy values between the two teams as this match unfolds. Temperatures are warm here. It will all be about an efficient performance. So Horta, block right-handed for Brazil. Taiana Lima, right-handed player, will start with a service. So Brazil winning the toss.
What's going to be interesting here is, can Germany continue the steady play that we saw last night and take down yet another Brazilian duo? That ball's over the net, and that's what they have been so good at, Bieneck taking care of any opportunity that they've been given. Their intensity and their consistency have really been off the charts.
Amazing to take breakfast with the German ladies this morning, Dane. They couldn't believe that they were here. I asked them why were they at breakfast so early and compared to any of the other players, and they said that they thought they'd had a dream and qualified for the semi-finals, so they were up early to make sure that it actually comes true, and they are still in the competition. It was a remarkable tale, but of course, semis is one thing, but earning a spot in the gold medal match is another.
Yeah, it's a big challenge to get through any round. When you get to the quarterfinals, it gets a little sketchy, and when you're facing Brazilian duos, you got to be perfect, because Brazil, one thing that their signature is that they don't give up unforced errors. They're not going to give you a lot of opportunities, so you almost have to play a perfect match, and that's exactly what Germany did last night in the quarterfinal.
Good cut on the ball from Bieneck. She started well. The number 2 blocker for Germany. Easily recognizable in their traditional white and black shirts. Also equally as traditional for Brazil in the green and yellow. Here is the German Victoria Bieneck with the service. Good work from Taiana at the net. The experience will be her calling card in this match.
Taiana has always been such a steady player. Really fiery, really hard on herself in terms of having such high standards. If she digs that ball in the backcourt, very efficient at converting. There's an opportunity. Carolina hitting across course. See, there's an opportunity. You got to put the ball to the ground. And the way that Schneider's playing right now, she's making it extremely difficult. Laying it out once again with that shot, just a little bit too good. It seemed like Germany put a lot of effort last night and were so effective that it's going to be a challenge today to keep up that type of a level, because the Brazilians, they're going to press them.
And the first break goes to Brazil at 4-2. Taiana with the service. 33-year-old out of Rio de Janeiro. Cross-court, big power serve to Bieneck, who's now on the attack for Germany. And these forced errors are putting Brazil in a confident position in the opening exchanges of this first set. Remember, we switch sides with every 7 points or a calculation of 7+, just to make sure there's no advantage from either the wind or a sunlight perspective down on the players. But a 3-point advantage now for Brazil as Taiana continues with this impressive early service run. First service error from the Brazilian.
And Taiana, definitely the most decorated player out there. In 2010, won the Most Improved Player Award, and in 2013, that's where herself and Toledo actually won the Team of the Year and were the Tour champs. So she's had quite a run, all sorts of experience, and that's what this game.
And that's what Germany will need more of from Victoria Bieneck. 26-year-old from Berlin. Really showed some great skills in their quarterfinal match yesterday evening here on center court. Here is the German with the service. Rally point scoring system, remember. Receiving serve or serving, point can be scored. Carolina Horta cuts the ball across, well read by Schneider. Schneider now attacks for Germany. Great block at the net from the Brazilian, but Bieneck keeps the ball up, and 2 excellent blocks from Carolina Horta for Brazil, and that will do nothing but boost the confidence, Dane.
Wow, Carolina Horta up and over the net, just putting up a wall. Germany trying to get around, but that second effort by Carolina, putting that ball down. When you put up a wall of a block, it really starts to play tricks on the hitters, and a shorter player like Schneider is going to have to poke it around just like that, just as she did last night, finding the corners back and forth. Almost a flawless match, and it looks like she's somewhat picking up where she left off last night.
She's the key to the success of the German team. Schneider here now with service. Point runs in that quarterfinal. And that ball is out of play, and that's another valuable point back on the board for Germany. And this is what Schneider did last night, Dane. 3 points here, then a side out, another 3 points. And if she can find that same rhythm and tempo to her play that Germany found yesterday evening, well, they could give the Brazilians a real run for the money here. Schneider again. Serves too deep. Taiana was tempted to go for it, but again, experience clearly puts the Brazilian in the right position. Side switch again, 14 points on the board.
Yeah, this German duo is up and coming for sure. At 26 years of age, both of them, Victoria Bieneck and Isabel Schneider, they both moved to Hamburg to train together as a team, and you're starting to see it pay off. They've had some top 4 finishes in 3-star events, but this being their best finish in a major series 5-star event. And look for them to really have a breakout season in 2018.
Well, with no Laura Ludwig and Akira Volkenhorst, European, World and Olympic champions on tour this season, Germany are looking for new stars. But Brazilians, always a formidable force and nation in the world of beach volleyball.
Yeah, it's good to see Germany out here well represented after Laura Ludwig and Kira Volkenhorst have decided to take the season off. Laura Ludwig, 6 months pregnant, and Kira Volkenhorst actually had surgery not only on her hip but on her shoulder as well, so she's recovering. It's kind of a recovery year, everybody trying to gear up for that next run, and they'll be out there, of course, trying to defend that 2016 Olympic gold medal
and their world title next year in Hamburg, hopefully in front of their home crowd. I think everybody is hoping that Lara Ludwig likes motherhood but doesn't love motherhood, and that she comes back because if Kira and Laura do come back to the world of beach volleyball, Hamburg will be on fire in 2019 once again. And of course Hamburg, the city of Germany, hosting the 2018 World Tour Finals on the FIVB World Tour. And I'm sure they'll be there as guests, but we're hoping to see them back as players very soon.
Exactly. We'll see them as guests in the World Tour Finals in Hamburg. But Laura, regardless, you know, I'm sure she'll love motherhood, but she loves both. She was here earlier in the week training at 6 months pregnant.
There you go. That's a story that we'd like to hear.
Yeah, she is an animal. You know, she gets after it, and you've seen how competitive she is on the court, laying it out in the sand, and her fellow countrywoman representing right now, but Taiana getting the best of Bieneck on this last play, tooling the block just out of bounds, and we are now at the technical timeout.
It always poses a question why you'd call a technical timeout a timeout before the technical timeout.
Oh, my apologies.
No,
you're absolutely right. Why call it 1 point away from the technical timeout? That's actually a timeout by the Germans. I guess you know, they'd rather go into the technical timeout down 4 than down 5 if things aren't going their way, and Brazil has that momentum going.
Now each team can call their own timeout, 1 per set, a minute's break, and then we have a technical timeout when there's a 21-point total score on the board. So this next point will take the total score to 21, and we'll go back to the dugouts for a second time. Interesting tactical play this from Germany, as what they're hoping to do is just break that rhythm of Brazil and get a side out here. Going into the tech timeout. Carolina Horta with service. Serve Schneider. Bieneck with the set. And that is exactly what they were hoping for. But after all that celebration and mission accomplished, they're going back to another 1 minute break.
But you know what? That timeout that they called may have set up that play, which was crucial. A 12-9 switch is very different than a 13-8 switch at the technical timeout. Just even playing tricks on your mind, when you look and you're down by 5, it's a big difference. And right now, they are in a great position. You want to hang around, get close. Let's take a look at Brazil's service placement. Every team, when they get out here, it's all about strategy. Who do you want to serve? Who do you want to go to? And we've seen entire matches where a team just serves one player the entire time, and other times you mix it up, but everyone takes a different approach. Let's see.
Brazil have the advantage at 12 points to 9, but Germany just pulling back a very valuable score before the tech timeout due to the 21-point total score on the board. Now, Bieneck with the service. Carolina with a lovely float over the top of the block. And the advantage clearly back with Brazil.
Chris, what happened there?
Taiana serving. And Taiana covering well at the back of the court here. Starting to stamp their authority on this opening set. Brazil taking the score to 14-9.
Just when you thought Germany was going to get back in this, it's Brazil starting to pull away. A very crisp shot by Taiana into the corner.
Taiana is in full flow now. And over on 2 from Schneider is effective. That ball off the block of Carolina Horta.
Call that tooling the block, when the offensive player uses the block kind of as a tool, going right off the hands and out of bounds. You see shorter players use that tactic more often because they don't have the ability to go over the top. They have to go around. Taiana right there finding the little alley between the antenna and the blocker. You see where it is, outside her body, right down the line, perfectly executed right there.
Horta with the service. Here's Schneider on the attack for Germany. Gets over the top of the block, deep into the Brazilian court. And they're fighting here, digging deep, Germany, not over yet. 3 points needed now for Germany. Vicky Bieneck serving. Oh, and there's the first shank serve received from Brazil. And that is a very important big point for Germany. Just 3 behind now.
That was really an effective float serve going right at Carolina. A flat hit of the ball, not a lot of spin, a lot of movement, very difficult to receive. She passes it really well that time. And when you get a pass, when you're watching beach volleyball, a lot of times you just get excited about that last hit that happened, but it's all about the setup. If you don't receive serve well, pass the ball to the right spot, and able to get a good set, it puts you in a tough situation. We call it passing in system, setting in system, and usually the offense runs smoothly. When you're out of system, that's when things can go awry.
Taiana with service. Oh, that is an ace serve, and an ace serve at a critical point for Germany in this opening set. Right on the line, Bieneck turns around and watches that ball drop like a stone to the baseline. Taiana serves again for Brazil. This time Schneider can't hold on to it. 2 serves from Taiana that surely seal this first set for Brazil at 18-12 now. Let's not forget that Germany have used that timeout, Dane, that we were discussing earlier. They wish they had it here right now. Yeah, they're in a little bit of trouble right now. Taiana's attacking them and really going for that deep corner. Carolina is a bit out of sorts. There's no way they can stop this momentum right now. No timeout, as you mentioned, Nick. And Taiana, with all the experience, really giving it to them right now. She won 2 world championships in the under-21 division, and she's got 6 world tour titles to her name. So Taiana knows when to attack. When she smells blood, when someone has a couple errors, she's really going to go at you and try to expose you, and that's what she's trying to pull off right now against Germany, and they're in a commanding situation of 19-13. Schneider with the service. Isabel goes to Carolina. Carolina on the attack for Brazil, cuts the ball. She digs it out of the net, but can't control the pass to her partner. It is set point for Brazil. Germany just caught a little off guard on the last third of this opening set. Brazil in full flow here. Carolina Horta now with service, looking to wrap this opening set up as quickly as possible. To Bieneck, Schneider with the set. Over the top of the block, but covered by Taiana, who goes over on 2. Schneider again on the attack. And that's too deep. 21-13. The first set goes to Brazil. And I think it's fair to say, Dane, goes to Brazil in a rather comfortable, concerning style if you're cheering for Germany right now. Yeah, it's definitely concerning because that was a decisive victory. 21-13. They just kind of took off about midway through that set and really started to exploit some of the weaknesses on the German side. But if you're Germany and they are so strong mentally, they will just shake it off. It's all about having that short memory and come out starting the second set and leaving that first set behind. I think they weren't as sharp as last night, and you know, that's what happens. Sometimes you have your A game, sometimes you got to work through it to get there, and that's why we play 2 out of 3. And that's what you know, they'll talk about it and they will come out. Now we're going to look at the Brazil serve placement, and you see Bieneck getting the majority of serves, 65%, 35% right down the middle, and 0 going to Schneider. So they scouted last night, and watching the game, Schneider last night was kind of unstoppable. She could poke the ball across corner, down the line in the corner, and that's why they're avoiding Schneider, because they think they can score some more points if they go to Bieneck and put a block in her face. She's a more powerful player, a taller player, but she doesn't have quite the array of shots as Schneider does. Here we go into the second set. 21-13, comfortable victory for Brazil. First of the women's semi-finals here at the Red Bull Beach Arena, Fort Lauderdale Major 2018. And Brazil literally pick it up where they left off at the end of that first set. Another positive play from Taiana, and as you pointed out, Dane, targeting Victoria Bieneck with just about every serve now. Seeing the German blocker as perhaps the weaker link in the German team. She needs more of those shots, not only to show the Brazilians that she can cope with serve receive, but also just to restore a little bit of confidence. Heads are down, not quite as dynamic and as quick as they were yesterday evening, the German duo in their quarterfinal. Schneider serves the ball out of play. 2-1 to Brazil.
These two teams never have faced one another in FIVB competition, and when you play a new team, it's tough. You got to kind of feel it out. You're unfamiliar with some of the moves, but you're taking note on the tendencies all along. And Taiana right there with a very rare unforced error. So disappointed in herself, but she tries to go down the line, just doesn't calibrate, line it up right. She misses by a couple of feet.
A little bit of luck for Victoria Bieneck with the serve. Hits the tape of the top of the net. Very hard, but just trickles over into the Brazilian court. Ace serve. Carolina Horta on the attack for Brazil, over the top of the block. Well covered by Schneider. Now she needs to finish this. And that's the shot that brought so much success yesterday evening. I'm glad she's found it this morning, Dave.
Well, the problem is she hasn't been able to touch the ball. She only gets involved, excuse me, on defense and is able to convert her offense there. But in terms of serve receive, Brazil is going away from her.
Another ace serve for Germany. Side switch with a total of 7 points on the board. 5-2 to Germany, who have to win this second set to stay in the match. Starting to find a better rhythm now, Germany. And they need to capitalize on this early break. Carolina Horta over the top of the block, covered by Schneider.
Carolina Horta just owning the net up there. This team really has some good chemistry. Taiana and Carolina Horta. Taiana's partner got injured in the Netherlands in that four-star event that took place in January. There's a beautiful dig. I'll get to that in a second as Schneider comes in.
Oh yes, read that both of the Brazilians were dropping off the net, falling deep into their own court, and just drops it short there.
It's a good up, and Schneider's so good at just getting the ball over the net and getting the ball to the sand quickly. We saw a lot of tricklers just roll over the net a few times last night, and there's that spectacular defense. Well, Taiana just taking the ball. That was very aggressive. She just cut right in front of Carolina, and now a little discussion, a little heated discussion, but this ball should have been easy. Looked like Carolina was there waiting, and Taiana just came in and cut her off and then told her about it.
Well,
afterwards.
it could well be a communication breakdown between the Brazilians here, and that's what the Germans are hoping for. They're starting to march clear in this second set. 4 points now, 7-3. Short serve to Carolina Horta. And a good block at the net, but beautiful work again from Taiana. Great rally. Hustle from both teams. But Germany take the point and go 5 clear.
Scrappy defense. Good cover on the Brazilian side, and then there's that poke, the block. Looks like it's going down, but Taiana never giving up on a play. Second and third opportunities. I'm really impressed with both of the blockers on both sides of the net. That's been a battle. There's been a lot of blocks, some of them not going to the sand. They're being covered, but a lot of touches up at the net. Some real aggressive play by both the Germans and the Brazilians. Yeah, look at that. There's definitely some tension, and it started with that communication breakdown. Taiana still giving it to Carolina, and Carolina doesn't look like she wants to really talk about it any longer. But earlier I was mentioning that Taiana and Elise Maya played in the Netherlands at the 4-star event, which was an indoor event in January, of course, because of the cold weather. But Elise Maya hurt her knee, a meniscus tear that needs to be healed up, and therefore we're seeing a new team in Carolina and Taiana playing in their first FIVB event together. And Taiana hitting that ball out. Taiana wasn't going to play in this event, but Carolina made the phone call and said, let's make it happen. Because you got to understand the Brazil domestic tour is happening right now.
Okay.
And so they're playing in that. That's why I think Brazil has a bit of an advantage over a lot of the field, because their season starts right before the international season starts. So they're raring to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they get a lot of touches, a lot of play, and that's what beach volleyball is all about, is repetition and that volleyball IQ, and you only get it by playing.
Well, it's starting to play Germany's way. A side switch with a total of 14 points on the board. No advantage either side of the court, but a 6-point clear advantage for Germany right now. They're looking good to take this to 3 sets. And we've definitely seen Taiana, the most experienced player on court in the white visor or cap for Brazil, a little flustered out there right now. That's Carolina Horta with a nice touch on the ball. Big side out for Brazil.
We talked about Taiana's under 21 championships, 2 of them. And Victoria and Isabel, Bieneck and Schneider also have an under 23 world championship under their belt. That taking place back in 2013 in Poland. So look at that, right through the block and down. Challenging the block constantly, both sides of the net right now.
Great block, that's a big play. And a timely score from Isabel Schneider, the German blocker.
Yeah, if you're going to continue to challenge the block, every once in a while that's going to happen. The ball's going to come right back at you and hit the sand for a point.
Good float serve from Schneider. And another good block from Bieneck, Victoria Bieneck. Well, may have been a little slow to warm up to this match, but she's flying in this second set now.
And so interesting what's happening right now. A communication breakdown from Brazil has really thrown them off. They're not playing a strong game like they were. And it's interesting. Sometimes a team will take you completely out of your game. Other times a team will implode on their own side. And it seemed like that communication problem in the corner, where Taiana started really giving it to Carolina, that's when Brazil has to just calm down and try to right the ship.
Well, that's it. Oh, magnificent service. Victoria Bieneck, I was just about to say, that is way too short, and it just floats over the net. 21 points on the board, a technical timeout, a 1-minute break, a 1-minute breather for Brazil, who've certainly lost their pace and confidence in this second set. Dane, the big question for you right now, do the Brazilians just let this one go, write it off, come back strong, or do they try and claw their way back into this second set? Because in the sport of tennis, often we'll see a throwaway set to come back stronger for the third.
You know, it's very interesting. I know what you're saying about kind of putting it away, don't exert a lot of energy, get it over with and get on with the third set, because it looks like we're going there anyway. I'm of the school of, you can do that, but you really want to get your game back before the end of the set, because these matches are so quick that sometimes you don't have that ability to turn it on or turn it off. And if you wait to the third set, they might still come at you, and that would be a problem. So if I'm Brazil right now, I don't want to throw this away yet. I want to get to playing the volleyball that I was playing in the first set, playing at that top level, and then roll into the third set with some type of momentum.
22 degrees Celsius, just over 50% humidity, very little wind out on court at all. Germany 15-6, looking good in this second set. That was a great shot. Now a little bit of confusion down the line, no touch. Point for Brazil. Taiana with service. Let's see how they play out this next session, Dane. Do they fight all the way through this second set, or do they let the Germans take it to conserve a little energy for the third?
Yeah, they're trying to get back into their groove, and I think they've taken themselves out of it. Give a lot of credit to Germany by stepping up their game, putting pressure, and bieneck really being a force at the net. But you can see that the chemistry has broken down between the Brazilians, and they're not communicating as quite as good. There's another enforced error out of bounds, but I believe a touch on the block. Look at this, a touch on the block. Brazil doesn't even realize it, and neither does Germany. Germany now is going to challenge. It's funny, the Brazilians went back to serve receive because they knew that ball was clearly out of bounds. I think this is going to be reversed. I think this is going to be Germany's point when we take a look at the replay. The ball, I believe, was out of bounds, but the referee called the touch, and here's a look. No touch. See, it's just outside that right hand. No fingers move, and with this Hawkeye system, really nothing gets by.
So that is Schneider, Isabel Schneider, 28-year-old from Leverkusen, looking to take this second set and to go into a third. Point on the board for Brazil, 8-17. The Brazil have already won the first set at 21-13, so it's a must-win this second set for Germany to go to that third sprint set to 15. Horta serving. Bieneck, lovely touch over the top of the block, right to the line. 18-8, Germany 10 points clear. They just need to trade side outs here and coast this one home to head to a third set decider.
Well, there's a little conservation right there on that last play. Taiana was up at the net blocking, which is rare. Usually Carolina is up there. So maybe taking your advice, Nick, kind of packing it up here in the second set and gonna focus on the decider in set number 3, because this is a beatdown right now. A complete reversal for the Germans, giving it to the Brazilians at the moment.
It certainly looks that way from high up in the commentary position at the top of the grandstand here. 19 points to 9. Schneider to serve for Germany. It's too deep. Well, they can afford a few errors, I hear you say, back at home watching right now. But it's the same story for Germany too. They want to get to this third set as quick as they can. Carolina Horta serves at Bieneck. Oh, and Bieneck does very well to save Germany. Caught slightly out of position there on the serve receive. And it is set point for Germany to tie the score at 1 set all. Victoria Bieneck looking to wrap up this second set. Here's Taiana on the attack for Brazil. Cross court, Schneider gets her hands there, but not quite the control of the ball.
Schneider all over the court. It's rare a ball lands with her not touching it. She might not control it up, but she's so good at anticipating, reading where that ball may go, and then getting a hand on it and giving her team an opportunity.
Second set point for Germany. Just need to side out here. Oh, it's not the best of control, but they do well to keep the ball up, the German duo. Here's Taiana on the attack for Brazil. Make sure there. No stopping that one. What a wonderful spike.
Yeah, one of the best hits that we've seen this match, and you see that's the momentum I'm talking about. You see a little celebration after she puts this ball away. She hits this ball as if there's no block up, and right now Taiana is fired up. So regardless of what happens here, I think Brazil has regained some of their focus, which they'll use headed into set number 3.
Third set point for Germany. Surely Schneider can put this away. Great shot. We go into a third tiebreak set. It will be to 15 rather than to 21. We'll side switch at 5. That's a pretty impressive comeback for Germany, I'd say, Dave.
Yeah, a real big turnaround. Give Germany a lot of credit, and they frustrated the Brazilians. They put the ball in situations where communication was an issue, and we're all tied up at 1 set apiece. And to start the morning off here in Fort Lauderdale, the first major of the season, we're going to have a third setter.
This is, of course, the first of the 2 semi-finals. Then we'll see action from 2 of the men's quarter-finals. Then the bronze and gold medal matches to be played throughout the afternoon. A night session with the men's semi-finals also live here on Center Court. But we focus on semi-final number 1 of the day, Brazil against Germany. Just to bring you up to date, Brazil took the first set 21-30. Germany coming back in style at 21-12. I think it's fair to say, Dave, this is either team's semi-final for the taking.
Absolutely, and if you look at it, this would be a big upset. Even though this is the first tournament for Carolina and Taiana, they have the more experience, and this is already uncharted waters for Germany. Their best finish in a major, making it to the semifinals. And wow, if they can make it to the finals, this would be something special. They put themselves in position to do just that. There's no reason they can't come out here and dominate here in the third, but expect a fight from Brazil.
Taiana on the attack. Brazil make sure they put the first point on the board. And it can feel like a sprint, the third set. With only 15 points, you still have to be 2 points clear. But with only 15, a good early point run can put you in a position that cannot be stopped. Bieneck sets for Schneider. Germany need to come back, and they do just that. Good play from Isabel Schneider to tie the scores at 1-1.
She is so good at hitting the ball coming from 15 feet off the net. She paces herself, gets her feet under the ball, and then really executes to those deep corners. Very hard to play defense against Schneider.
Well, not the best of serve receives from Carolina Horta. And that gave Taiana all of the trouble to try and just keep the ball up. And this is what happened in the quarterfinal. Isabel Schneider getting into a groove. She's going to stick to the service tactic of going to Carolina Horta, who's now on the attack for Brazil. And again, she's swinging that left arm with confidence. Already an early break for Germany.
This is exactly, Nick, as you mentioned, what we saw from Schneider last night. She's in her groove, and guess what? Carolina Horta will probably get every serve for the rest of this match. She has been giving away a few points, and that is where Germany has had their success, going to Horta, and I think they will continue that. Taiana's fired up. She wants the ball, and that's why you want to keep the ball away from her. And so give Germany a lot of credit, making adjustments throughout the match that have really benefited them.
They've clearly thought out their tactical plan, the German duo here. Now, let's take a look at Carolina Horta with service. She decides to serve to her counterpart Bieneck, but Bieneck, a lovely little pokey over the top of the block there. The break is maintained by Germany at 4-2. This is getting very close to a huge result for the German women. Bieneck with service. Again, it goes to Carolina Horta. Bieneck's at the net. Horta goes over the top. Good score. Good side out for Brazil. Important side out for Brazil, I have to say.
The women's side this season is really wide open. We mentioned Laura Ludwig will be out with her pregnancy. Kira Valkenhorst has been out with surgery to her hip and to her shoulder. Larissa is out. Don't know if she is retiring. Don't know if she is coming back. Talita is pregnant as well. So some of the top teams from Brazil and Germany on the sidelines. That really opens the door for a lot of opportunities for these young players coming up and to take advantage.
Oh, well, I like the way Bieneck played the net there. Almost a fake block, and that just affected for a split second the focus of the shot from Carolina Horta, who puts it into the net.
In that instant, right before you're going to hit the ball, that's where all the action happens, where the fake blocks happen. And you got to know as a hitter, is the blocker still there? Have they dropped off the net? And right now, Germany just scrappy, getting everything up in the air.
Oh, lucky. Good play from Brazil. Just heads are looking a little low from the Brazilian women. And as you call perfectly, Dane, Germany almost believe they can stop, lift, and keep anything up in the air. Here is Carolina Horta for Brazil, trailing by 2. Oh, and there's the first communication error from Germany.
Schneider trying to go over on 2, but a little out of sorts there, doesn't clear the net. There's the pass. And she just doesn't get her feet under the ball, and that ball not close to clearing, and Brazil creeping their way back here in the third.
Oh, second time of asking, Bieneck puts the ball away. Some amazing defense from the Brazilians to keep the ball up. But Germany holding a better position and a better flow to their play. Take that break by 2 once again at 7-5.
Well, the effort is there. Taiana everywhere on the court. Look at her laying it out here. Right hand fully extended. Just cannot lift that ball high enough for her partner to keep it in play. Germany up by 2.
Carolina Horta. Oh, that is a very, very good shot. But the point is given to Germany there. No, that's a mistake from the referee. Let's have a close look.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
You see, Bieneck is actually blocking the line, so that's her responsibility, but she leaves just a little gap, and Carolina Horta exploits it.
Good shot from Schneider, going over on 2. Very quick side out for Germany, taking back that break advantage at 8-6.
Look at that effort by Taiana and the frustration right there. Again, she's just saying, if I could just lift that ball up, but if she keeps going for those types of digs, they're going to start to come her way.
Oh, good shot from Carolina Horta, who's been taking a lot of the pressure from Team Germany. Quick side switch with a total of 15 points on the board. Starting to get closer and closer to the business end of this third set. And the reward to the winner in this match is huge. New team from Brazil, looking for their first major gold of their careers. Same for the Germans. Carolina Horta serves Bieneck. Bieneck now on the attack. Good play from the German blocker.
Germany really making it look easy, as if they've been here many times before. You know, they've had some success in 3-star events, but with the fivb system, there's 1 through 5-star events, and a 5-star event is going to get the best teams in the world, all of them coming out to compete, and this is their best finish ever in a 5-star event, and to make it to the finals would be really miraculous. They started play, the Germans did, on Tuesday in qualification, had to play a few matches in qualification to make it out. Same with Brazil, they had to qualify as well, but it's the German duo, the new kids out here really making some noise.
Absolutely, Dana. I mean, you've described it perfectly. But after quite a slow start, Germany are in top gear now. They really are confident that they can put every ball and point away. And this is one of their secret weapons. It's Isabel Schneider on the service to Horta. Taiana with the set. Good cover from Schneider. Now she needs to finish. Taiana just gets her hands on the ball in time. Oh, great play from Brazil. Keeping their calm, staying cool under pressure, and putting a very big point down to stay in this third and final set.
Yeah, that would have been a huge point for Germany in terms of pulling away. Brazil knew the urgency right there, stuck with it, got it to the sand, and Brazil would love a 10-all switch here if they can earn this next point.
Horta, the 25-year-old from Fortaleza, serves cross-court. Bieneck picks it up. Schneider with the set. Oh, and that's the first error on the tack from Bieneck of Germany, and that ties the scores at 10 points all. A quick switch of sides on court. That's the first error in quite a while that we've seen from the German.
This is what it's going to come down to right now. I think Brazil is going to serve Bieneck every single ball, and Germany is going to serve Horta every single ball. It's going to be a battle. Who can step up?
Well, Horta's serve just a little too long. Quick point on the board for Germany. Here is Bieneck with service. As you called, Dane, straight to Carolina Horta, who now attacks for Brazil. Oh! And the block is good, but the ball is out. Scores all tied at 11-all. Right into the business end of this third and final set. And it could go either team's way.
Carolina up and over and just out of bounds on that block. Well, here's a point-scoring opportunity for Brazil, but it's going to be a free ball. Oh, and she let it go, and it's in!
And that could mean the end of Germany's dream of a place in the final. That is unbelievable. All the time in the world.
Oh, wow. All the work to get to this point, and you let a close one go. I always say you got to play the close ones. You have to control your own fate. You can't just watch that ball land, and wow. Does Bieneck wish she could have that play back? Just pass that ball, play it out, put it away. Free ball situation for Germany. They let that go, and now I believe all the momentum has swung to the Brazilian side, and that could be the one play that turned things around here.
Well, as soon as Schneider saw the ball touch the line and the ref's decision, she called the timeout to try and rebuild that confidence, talk to her partner, get that momentum back, because I totally agree with you, Dane. It's going to be tough to beat Brazil now. They're starting to feel indestructible. They're starting to feel invincible. They're starting to feel that this match is meant to go their way. And for the first time in over 7 points, Brazil take the lead from Germany at 12-11. Taiana with service. Oh, it's too long. And that's what we're talking about. That error seems to have affected the focus and concentration. The break is now with Brazil at 13-11. Germany are now on the back foot. Germany are on the ropes. Taiana, float serve to Bieneck. That's been the tactic throughout the third set. Oh, she's put another one out. It's match point, Brazil.
Wow, this is difficult to watch at the moment. You feel for Bieneck, just the wheels falling off right now, and it all started by letting the foot off the gas just a little bit with that free ball opportunity. The ball hits in, and give Brazil a lot of credit. They have been scrapping together, and finally they've broken through at the very end of this third and final set.
It's all over. Brazil claim the last 4 points to win the third set, 15-11, to take the semi-final 2 sets to 1. What a dramatic turnaround. What an amazing set of points from Brazil, capitalizing on that lapsing concentration from Bieneck of Germany, and having made that free ball error, she just could not recover, Dane.
Well, rarely do you see an implosion like that, and that's going to be tough to watch. I feel for Bieneck and Schneider. They played so well, and for for that basically, you know, 9/10 of that entire match, they were on point. And then the last few points, they just really, things fell apart, and Brazil put the pressure on them. And wow, that's going to be hard to swallow. They had an opportunity to make it to the final, possibly win a major series event, and it was everything fall apart. You just never know. That's why you got to stay focused.
Here's the confirmation of a 2-1 result and victory for Brazil in the semi-finals. 21-13, 12-21, and 15-11. It's